Hello everyone, welcome to the Codeness. In the previous video, we have successfully performed the validation, and the subsequent video we have shown you how to create the microservices in Node.js. We have created the user and the user role. Now we are going to show you how to deploy these services in the Docker. So we assume you have successfully installed the Docker. So if you install, that will look like this. To start the Docker container, now we have to create the Docker file. We already created a Docker file, so we have to use the Docker Node.js version. So you can use the whatever you current version you have. So you can, based on that, you can find the Node.js images. Now you have to create the working directory. Now the copy the Node.js file, install the dependency, copy the application file. Then you have to run the command and expose whatever the port we are using internally. Then it's command to start. So in this way, we have to create the Docker file. Now we have sets of command to create the Docker images. This is not the Docker tutorial, so that's why I'm not giving the much idea about the Docker or how Docker is work. We assume you have little bit knowledge of the Docker. I'm going to create a separate tutorial for the Docker. So we have to create the Docker image using the command called docker build. T means taggings, or this is the image name and the current directory where your Docker file is located. So we just copy this, go to the terminal and the new terminal, then run. So initially it will take some time to download the dependency in your Docker, and it will create the images. It automatically tag the latest. T stand for the tag. Now, as you can see, all the dependency are installed, and you can go to the Docker, go to the image. Have you find the image? It already comes. This is the image name, user service image. Now, then I have to run the image and create a Docker container. Now paste it here. The command is docker run d for detach, mode name, your container name, port, which port you want to expose, and this is the image name. So just run it. As you can see, we can run the detach mode, so it will run successfully. Now go to again Docker, go to the container. As you can see, this is working. As you can see, user service container. It is your container name. Now click on this. If you receive hello world, so this means you have successfully installed into the Docker. Now we can open container. Here you can also check the status, data sources initialization. It is internally running in the 3004, but we expose on the front end is the 4000. So you can see the files, whatever the files you have. So we already mentioned the path of the file in the Docker file. So we can check here. So user src app. So you can find the file here. User src and app. So all your file is located here. As you can check, readme file is also. So you can also create the docker ignore file if you don't want to push some file into the application. So in this way, we have now it is time to test the application. We can one more modification I have also done. Just I'm going to highlight before, because we are using our SQL in local machine SQL. So we have to modify our data source file. So I have to comment this localhost to Docker host Docker internal. That means the application, the machine which are hosting the Docker, use the SQL connection of that file, that machine. So that's way I have to change the host Docker internal. Otherwise, whatever you have the Docker in where your Docker is installed, you can give that name. If you install the SQL in the also the Docker image, so that give the image name. So now is this is the change, very important. So you I have highlighted. Now I am going to run this application and test. So here 4000. Let's click on the get. Let me restart it. Postman. Now send. So as we can see, we got the record same for the users. So you can perform the rest of the operation. It's working fine successfully. Now this Docker file, just note one thing, this Docker file is taking the connection of our local SQL, not Docker container. Okay, I hope you understand. And for this, I have to make the change like this. So in this way, we have successfully deployed our user services in the Docker container. I hope you learn how to create the services in the CQRS pattern and that how to deploy into the Docker container. So thank you for watching this video.